Beautiful job gaining position. Whoever's working with Rivera on his position grappling is doing an exceptional job because he moved around Riley's body in the second and third round beautifully.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We're back. We have Jerome Rivera on the line, fresh off a dominant victory at LFA 10. What's going on, Jerome? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Jason?
I'm doing real good. Well, first things in order, man. Happy belated birthday, buddy. I know you turned 22 on Saturday, right?
Yeah, I turned 22. Thank you. Appreciate it.
What'd you get up to for your birthday, man? What's a 22-year-old doing these days out in New Mexico for your birthday?
That day before my birthday was kind of enough of a birthday for me. I was pretty worn out. On the actual day of, I ended up, I wanted to go do like a hike or something cool out there, but my body is pretty burnt out. I went to the hot springs down in Manitou Springs.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, so it was a pretty relaxing day. Kind of just hung out and chilled.
You had a really good performance against Zak Riley, man. How did you feel about your performance overall?
I felt good. I felt like I went there and was able to overcome a little bit of adversity there in the beginning, which was good. I wanted to strike a little bit more with him, but I'm pretty happy with my performance. Yeah,
I remember you were telling me before the fight you wanted to show off your hands a little bit. How important was it for you to get through that first round like that, especially show on your debut with LFA on the big stage like that? How important was it for you to get through that round?
It was big for me. I wanted to see how it felt. I mean, I like I had said before, it's just another cage. Getting in there is no difference. But I just wanted to make sure that my body kept up with what my mind is thinking. And my cardio felt good. I don't feel like I got any kind of jitters or anything. Zak was just a really strong guy and snatched me up pretty fast and put me in a bad position. But, yeah, getting through that first round, being able to kind of calm myself down and overcome that was good for my mental. So I feel like after I got out of that bad position, that kind of woke me up and was like, all right, can't make any more mistakes like that. It's time to really take it to this guy and perform to my ability.
And did you ever? I mean, you came out in round 2 and 3 and absolutely dominated every facet of the fight. You were heavy on top, which I'm not gonna say it was surprising, but you actually had moved up a weight class from flyweight. Is where you were competing before. So how comfortable did you feel at bantamweight?
One thing that was awesome was I didn't have to do like any kind of a water weight cut. I was able to just straight diet the weight down. So like when I was in there, I didn't have any worries about like gassing myself out or anything. My legs felt like they were under me the whole time. So that was good. But the thing was the day of the fight, I was only weighing about 137. And Zak was about a good 150 in there. So I did kind of feel that in the beginning when we first started off. I threw a couple push kicks at him, and it felt like I was kicking a wall. Felt really solid. And then when he grabbed me, he was like, I could feel that strength for sure.
Did you feel him wilt a bit as when you got in there in the second round and you were able to put yourself in a dominant position? Did you feel him start to wilt from like the weight cut or whatever? You can't speak to that, but did you feel him wilt in any way?
Yeah, I felt like he kind of just was defending after a while. Like he wasn't really trying to put up a whole lot of offense from his back. He was more kind of just reacting to me. And that's kind of what I wanted to get him doing. I wanted to push a pace where he was always reacting to me. But, yeah, I definitely feel like he got himself a little tired trying to squeeze onto that choke in the first round. And I think with just enough pressure, he slowly started gassing out.
Do you think it was like a frustration thing for him, too? Because, I mean, you defended it perfectly. It was 2-on-1. Like 2 hands on one the whole way through. Every time he attempted to choke, you peeled it off, you pushed your way out of it. Do you think that kind of like stole his will a little bit when he just wasn't able to finish you from a dominant position like that?
Yeah, I think that's always a little hard when you kind of give someone all you got, especially in a position like that. I think he really felt like he had it on there, and a couple times he did have it pretty tight. But yeah, I think when you go all in on something like that and you don't get it, it's a little tough. And then also I feel like when we had started off striking, we weren't able to strike a whole lot. Maybe we struck for about a minute, but I think he kind of got an idea that I was going to be a little troublesome with the range, a little bit longer than him. So I think that kind of, when he realized that the striking was going to be hard and he couldn't catch me in that submission, I think that's when he kind of started going into my game.
Yeah. And did you use range effectively? Did you use it as well as you would have liked? Because I know that was a big part of what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I feel like I went a little kick crazy. I feel like I threw a little bit too much kicks. But at the same time, when I was kind of like thinking in my head what I was going to do before the fight, that was one thing I wanted to do, was throw a lot of kicks at him, because I know against his style specifically, if I could get a lot of kicks off and not really let him plant, I knew that would kind of take away his spin kick from him, which he throws often.
Yes.
So, yeah, that was kind of purposeful to throw a lot of kicks like that, but when I watched myself over again, I wish I would have set it up a little bit better with my hands, but I feel like I was able to keep a good range on him with my movement and my kicks, though.
So, like, a dominant performance like that at bantamweight, is staying there an option for you? Like, knowing how easily the weight cut was, how you were able to dominate him on the ground like that, does that make you comfortable to stay at that weight?
I think 135 is something my body's going to grow into. Like, maybe when I can't make 125 anymore is when I'll start really going to 135, or if I get, like, short notice fights here in the meantime, if I'm a little heavy, I don't mind going 135, but I think I want to make a run at 125 again, because walking around like 137, 135 is super light compared to when I used to fight at flyweight before. I was walking around like 145 to 150.
Oh, wow.
So I think now, I think now walking around like 130, because I still haven't even cracked 140 yet since the fight. So I think really just eating clean, walking around like 135. Once I hit like a good workout, maybe get to 130 and then lose about 5 pounds water weight, I think it'd be a pretty easy cut. In the past too, like, I've been able to just straight diet down to 125 without using the sauna or anything. So I think I can get back down to that.
Is eating clean and stuff something you just kind of now adopted into your training, or is it something that you just felt would be the next step to get you to that next level?
Eating clean, I feel like I never really worked with like a nutrition coach in the past, and I never was like very knowledgeable myself. I would tend to just wing it, and I don't think, like, sometimes I wouldn't eat a whole lot, or I wouldn't have like good timing with my meals. But now I was working with a nutrition coach over at the UFC gym, and he kind of helped me out with the meal plan, and I feel like the timing of my meals is really good. I think like my macronutrients is balanced out really well. And then just watching what I was eating, all that definitely played a big deal into my weight cut, and it was a super easy cut getting to 135.
Sure. Are you looking for a quick turnaround? Because I know you had taken a little while off, and then you had 2 kind of roughly back to back, if I'm right. Are you looking to get back in there quickly again, or do you want to take a bit of time off? What's your plan?
I kind of want to ride the momentum wave. I feel like really eager to get back into camp and really eager to start training again. So I would like more time just to crisp everything up. Watching that video, I want to work on my hands a lot more, and I just really want to just keep slowly just sharpening everything up. My jiu-jitsu, I want to get a little more crafty. Wrestling, I want to keep working on that. So I mean, if I could get about 3 months, about a 3-month training camp, I think that would be great. But also, speaking with LFA, if they want to get a quick turnaround, like something like end of June, that's not something I'd be opposed to, because I feel like I'm in good shape, and I'm just going to fall right back into another training camp. So
sweet. Do you have anybody in mind who you'd like to fight? You look at the 125 division.
Yeah, when I was after my fight the other day, I was looking. Pat Miletich had a top 5 flyweight prospect list. Had Roberto Sanchez on there, Nick Urso, CJ Hamilton. I was looking at the list, and I feel like I can beat all those guys. Ideally, I wouldn't want to fight someone like Nick Urso, because he trains out here in Albuquerque. He's a cool guy. Chatted it up with him. And I cross-train a little bit at Jackson's. I go spar there sometimes. So if I could keep from fighting Nick, that would be cool. But then at the end of the day, it is business. But I would like to fight Roberto Sanchez or CJ Hamilton. I think either of those guys I match up well with. And if I have one specifically to aim for and strive for, I think I can come up with a really good game plan and come up with a way to beat those guys.
Sweet. And either one of them you would prefer over the other, or stylistically speaking? I feel like you and Roberto
He had
Sanchez would be a
Roberto
crazy
Sanchez
fight.
listed at number 1.
Yeah.
So I would like to fight Roberto Sanchez. He looks like a tough grappler. Striking, I would like to see where his striking's at. I think grappling, I think I'd be able to defend his takedowns, and I think it'd turn out to be a really good matchup for me. So I like that Roberto fight.
Yes, stylistically, that would be a crazy fight. Like the two of you grappling is just so dominant. I would love to watch 3 rounds or less of that.
That would be some good scrambles and some good striking exchanges.
Yeah, have you mentioned that to LFA? Because I know he's been a little reluctant to take some fights. I know CJ Hamilton had called him out. He wasn't interested in that because I think he's like knocking on the door of the UFC or something like that at the moment. Have you talked to LFA at all? Have you mentioned that to them?
No, we haven't mentioned that one to them yet. They're kind of asking me what I want to do going forward, 125 or 135.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna let them know 125 is what we want going forward, and I definitely want a top contender. And if they think their top guy is Roberto Sanchez, and that's the guy I'm gonna be asking for.
You said before when we were talking that you wanted to sign a long-term deal with the LFA. Is that something you spoke to them about, or are you working towards some sort of a contract with them?
I have a coach and a manager that are kind of going with them for me.
Okay.
Right now I had caught a couple bumps and bruises on my ankles after that fight, so mainly just making sure everything was good there. But I went to the doctor and got x-rays and everything, and just a good bump on my ankle, nothing serious. So
okay.
Now that we got that figured out, going to try and hopefully work out some kind of contract with those guys.
Nice. Yeah, because you were saying you wanted to spend a little bit of time like seasoning your skills before you make the jump up to like either a UFC or a Bellator or anything like that. Is that still part of the plan after getting in there? And like, or does it change when you have a dominant performance like that, or do you feel like, maybe I'll be ready to make that jump like a little sooner than later? Like, what's your feeling like after a fight like that?
Yeah, I would still like to get some experience with those guys, because even though I felt good, I watched myself and I still see a lot of improvements I can make, especially before I start getting in there with the UFC flyweights.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to get some experience in those 5-round fights. I want to fight one of these top contenders, and then hopefully I can get matched up for a belt with LFA and get some experience in those championship rounds. So I want to shoot for that belt and try and get the belt with LFA. Maybe defend it one time, defend it a couple of times, just get some experience in there, especially in those 5-round fights, because you see guys like Demetrius Johnson, how fast they are. If I got put on the stage like that, I just want to make sure I'm ready. So, yeah, I would definitely still like to stay at LFA for at least 3 fights.
Well, you know, you're in a position where you got nothing but time, right? I mean, you just turned 22 the other day, so you have a ton of time.
Yeah.
Maybe you got probably at least 3 or 4 years before you start to hit your stride and like really be in your prime. So, you know, time you can be patient.
Yeah, and definitely. That's why, I mean, I would like to take a fast turnaround if LFA offers it to me, but in all reality, it would probably be good if I could take about 3 to 4 months to really just, like I said, I just want to keep working on the basics like I've been doing. Like I feel I don't know, I just feel like a sponge in there again when I'm training. I feel like I'm taking everything in, so I want to start taking a couple trips out here now on the weekend, start going out to Syndicate MMA, and try and go visit Bang Muay Thai if I can, and just go get a lot of different views and take in as much knowledge as I can, get ready for the next fight.
And you said you were injury-free when you came out of this one, because I know you were battling a couple injuries before. You were saying knee injuries or whatnot, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you came out clean, everything's good, no issues?
Yeah,
besides like the bumps
good.
you're talking about?
Yeah, we just kind of clashed shins a lot, and I think my ankle hit his shin a few times, and like one of the first kicks of the fight, I kicked him right in his elbow, so got a little knot on my left ankle, but it was nothing too serious.
Cool.
And then knees and everything are good. Training camp went great. I didn't have no underlying injuries going into that, so.
If you're able to stick around with LFA for a little bit, would you be in a position to eye 2 titles maybe, like even the bantamweight title?
That would be awesome. I mean, I don't see any issue really fighting at 135. Like, I feel like Zak's a pretty tough, pretty strong guy at that weight. And so far I've done good at 135, so if I were to stay in with LFA for the long term, maybe in there a few more fights, that would be really interesting. I would like to fight at that division, because I look at the 135-pound bantamweights also, and there's some tough guys there, but I don't feel like there's anyone that I couldn't beat if I had a person to work for and game plan with. I feel like I could come up with something.
Hey man, I'm all for the big goals, man. I like people that set lofty goals and chase them. So that's real good, man. And you couldn't have asked for a better performance the other night to get their attention, that's for sure. And I really want to thank you for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it. I know it's not always easy to make the time, so thank you for making time for us here at the Fight House, Jerome. It's a real pleasure to have you on the show, buddy.
Nice, it was a pleasure having me. Thanks, Jason. I appreciate you guys having me on the show again.
No problem, buddy. And hopefully we can talk again before your next fight.
Yeah, most definitely. We'll stay in touch.
All right, buddy. Have a good one, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. You as well. Thank you.
All right.